My husband laughed heartily at me and my box of medication. Not box, it was a suitcase of medication. I kept trying to explain to him that we were going to be here for at least 6 weeks, maybe between 6 weeks and 2 months, and that was a long time, but he still laughed at me. But you might want to consider as well the length of your journey and just how many things you need to bring. So there was a suitcase dedicated for toiletries. As a woman, in my opinion, you tend to need a few more toiletries than a man on average. Oh, I should say, on the off chance that there is a lady watching my videos, that I don't think that they sell tampons here, at least not in the stores that I saw. So if you are a tampon wearer, you might want to consider taking a supply of those with you as well. They do sell pads for your menstrual cycle, so you wouldn't be without, but you might not be able to get tampons. But I knew to make myself comfortable, I would want my regular herbal supplements. I take turmeric to help with a healthy immune system. I drink chaga tea that helps with digestion and with a healthy immune system. And I make sure to take probiotics. And it was important to me that I continue to take my probiotics because I knew that coming to a different country, there would be different bacteria in the food, in the water. Not bad bacteria, but it's just different. And I didn't really want my they call it gut flora. I didn't want that completely interrupted for this trip and have to go through that transition, which my husband had to do. Oh, I'm putting all of his business out here, aren't I? He didn't take probiotics, and he found that his bowel habits did change, and he was uncomfortable at some points. He didn't get diarrhea or travel sickness. It was just that it was such a big change from where we are as far as the different gut flora, and he noticed a change. I didn't really notice that big of a change. I think it's because I continued taking the same probiotics at home that I do at home. And so my gut flora still had at least some or a lot of the same bacteria it was used to. But they do sell, at least in my local Walmart, they sell travel probiotics, because the ones that I use at home, they had to be refrigerated. And so I went to Walmart looking for probiotics that I could travel with, and they were there. You can just, of course, do your own research, but they are available. You can get travel probiotics if that's something that you think would benefit you. And I think that it helped make my trip more comfortable because my bowel habits really pretty much stayed the same. I forgot to mention that you should make sure to bring a healthy supply of pads or cotton if you have a fistula that is draining anything, and most fistulas, I think, probably do drain. So before we came, I had these wonderful incognito pads, and I think they're amazing because they're not pads, they're panty liners, and they're panty liners with wings. If you have had issues with draining, as I have had, you know that it's really difficult to find panty liners with wings. I don't know why so few manufacturers make these, but I found those at a dollar store back home, and I just loaded up my cart with them. Anyway, my tangent aside, make sure to bring plenty of pads or panty liners, something to catch the drainage. My doctor said that cotton balls are good to bring as well, and they're extremely comfortable, great at catching drainage, and extremely comfortable to wear, and you can actually unroll these. A lot of people don't know you can actually unroll cotton balls. So that is something to consider bringing over. You can buy cotton balls here. And my doctor gave me a prescription for cotton. It turned out to be like just this big, huge cotton roll. And it was actually, comparatively speaking, quite cheap. So it's just like this giant cotton roll. And if you come to India and you find, hey, I've run out of pads, I've run out of cotton, you can actually buy these cottons in these giant rolls, at least in Pune, we found them. But otherwise, if you find that you run out of panty liners or pads or something to catch the drainage, never fear. There are plenty of stores that sell cotton. You might also want to consider staying at a place that has a hairdryer, or if it doesn't, bring your own hairdryer so that you can make sure to dry the area off. When you have a fistula, especially if you're having surgery in that area, well, at least for me, I didn't want to be rubbing the area with paper towel or toilet paper or a towel or anything to dry off because it's already so tender. And with my doctor, he recommended I don't use any toilet paper in that area anyway, because he told me that at least with his procedure, I don't know if it's this way with other doctors, that if you use toilet paper, it could stick to the thread. So I made sure before we came that I chose a place that had a hairdryer. So you might want to consider that too. And just little creature comforts, like maybe you want to contact your hotel if you're staying in one, and maybe you want to ask them if they would provide you with a microwave. Our hotel very graciously did. Maybe you would like to have a tea kettle in your room. My husband and I are big tea drinkers, so that was important to us. So it's just a few things to consider when coming. Oh, and I should say it's more along the lines of making your stay comfortable as opposed to your Kshar Sutra trip comfortable, but our hotel had a TV, a flat screen TV, and we brought a HDMI cable so that we could access Netflix from our computer. We brought our computer with us, our laptop, and we just plugged the HDMI cable into the laptop and into the TV, and we were able to watch TV shows because, at least from what I looked at on TV over here, there's very few English speaking shows. So it went a long way to be able to watch movies. We brought some movies, or Netflix, or YouTube, and just help pass the time, because there is quite a bit of downtime, at least for me, with recovering from, if you have a procedure. I wanted to sit there for that day and just take it easy. So those things helped.